So let's fly over the Vuselela tvet College campuses. Vuselela, to revive, to refresh, to renew. And we're using the Vaal River as our guide, with the Northwest on your left and the Free State on your right, and Joburg and the Witwatersrand right up ahead of you over there. And we're flying into Potchefstroom. And the first thing you'll note is the hectic apartheid nature of this town, with the black, Indian and coloured townships. Promosa for the coloureds, Mohadin for the Indians, Ikageng for the black guys, down at the bottom over there, separated completely off, running in almost like a arrowhead, charging into the industrial area, with all the white suburbs and town nestling on the Mooi River with its nice agricultural setups and golf courses, and lots of green fields from all the excellent schools in the area and the good sports facilities. Now, the Potchefstroom campus, it's located right next to Potch Boys High. You can see it on the one side. And the Potch campus is a great multi-purpose campus. So you can do business studies programs over here. You can do engineering programs over here. It has got hostel facilities, although not for too many students. It has an interesting tourism department doing all sorts of worthwhile stuff. They've got initiatives with UK academics who, when they come over here, they take them off into Ikageng and they go check out the local hospitality, like a TMT tavern, which is excellent music, by the way. And as we pull radically out of Potchefstroom, I want you to look out for the Vredefort Dome. It's that semicircular set of hills which forms the outskirts of it, with the Vaal River running through. What I want you to notice is that the Carletonville mines on your right and the Klerksdorp mines on your left are around about the same distance, because around 2 billion years ago, a huge meteorite smashed in over there and caused massive cracks, and in those cracks gold formed. So Klerksdorp is now a mining town. Boom and bust, massive labor needed for the mines. And we're flying into the Matlosana campus. Now, it's a skills campus. It's been recently redone, so it's just moved over here. And it's got all sorts of excellent workshops. So you can do boiler making over here, you can do electrical work, you can be a millwright, and you can do fitting and turning. Now, Matlosana, which means city on the move, is actually an attempt to rename Klerksdorp, and it includes Klerksdorp and Orkney and Stilfontein and Hartebees, all in one collected municipality, with the serious intent to try and think about what are they going to do with this town as mining starts to disappear. And what has happened over the last couple of years is a lot of the mines in the area have been closed down because they're not profitable anymore, especially as the reefs go deeper, and especially as labor becomes more expensive, which it should be, and especially because you've got all sorts of foreign investment pouring in, which wants as much return for their money as they can possibly get. Now, this Joburton campus is the engineering campus. So over here you can do electrical engineering, you can do mechanical engineering, and you can do civil engineering. And the name Joburton actually refers to the first large black township in the area, which was set up in around about 1949, and now really contains the highest percentage of the people in the Klerksdorp area. And it's a real concern, this boom-bust situation, especially when you have mines like owned by the Guptas over here. They managed to get hold of Shiva uranium and gold, well, that's what they call it, and they haven't paid their workers. And the college has been struggling with unemployed miners raiding their workshops, stealing stuff from their workshops, because that's how they can survive. And I've tried to catch a complexity by pulling out so that you can see the combination of the mines with the white suburbs and the black townships on the one side. We're now flying into Klerksdorp Central Campus. Now, this is the business studies campus, so you can do business marketing and HR and public marketing and all those kinds of stuff. What I had a real chuckle with is, the actual TVET college has got quite a dynamic sports setup and cultural setup. And one of the things that happened recently was they had a soccer game between the Klerksdorp team and the Joburton team. And I don't want to use stereotypes, but my experience has always been that the engineering school or faculty always seems to do better at sport than the business faculty. Why, I'm not sure about, but certainly that held true in the inter-campus games that vuselela TVET College had. So let's pull out of Matlosana, the city on the move. Actually, initially they wanted that name to talk about migrant labourers coming to this area, but they then changed it to a more funky kind of forward-looking meaning. And move forward, past or post a gold mining boom it's going to have to do. Very recently, 2020, more mines have closed in the area, especially with COVID. So there's serious concerns about the employment in the area. And the TVETs like vuselela and government and the mines should be thinking about how to reconstruct towns like this. But unfortunately, often the mines just go bankrupt, or they sell as soon as they're not profitable anymore, and they kind of hide their profits. So it's very hard to engage them moving forward. So now we've done a radical pull-out over the Free State, and you can see the Vaal River running down there with the Potch campus and the Klerksdorp campus, and we swung all the way around to the Tong campus. And that massive green set of circular farms you can see there, well, that's the Vaal Hearts irrigation scheme. It's like 370 square kilometers worth of really worthwhile farming land. Though currently they're struggling with silting and there are problems there. And it's also got over 1,000 kilometers of canals, which basically run through from the Vaal River on your right hand side, and it channels water to the Vaal Hearts irrigation scheme. So there's all sorts of farming going on there. And right nearby to that, not on the Vaal River, but on the Dry Hearts River, it's next to the Hearts River, which you can see over there, we've got the Tong campus. But we're going to fly into it via the town of Tong, because there's three things I want to show you. Firstly, it has got an agricultural college. Secondly, it's got the Lucas Mangope Dam, because this was a part of the Baputetswana homelands at one stage. And thirdly, it's got a really nice new hotel school and conference center. Now that's to take advantage of the huge discovery which happened around about 1920, where they found the Tong child skull, and I'll talk more to that just now. But located around about 6-7 kilometers away from town is a small town of Padmu, and it's in that small center that we have the town campus. Now it's a multi-purpose campus, so you can do business studies over here, and you can also do some engineering programs over here. It obviously doesn't do tourism, that's done specifically at Potch, and now you have the tourism school in Tong itself. It does have residential facilities, but not for too many students, and there's a strong cry to improve the residential facilities in the zone. Now, one of the reasons why there's so much investment in this little area we have is that right next to Tong is a World Heritage Site, because that's where the skull of a 3-year-old child was found, which had strong evidence of bipedalism. In other words, it was walking upright, using its hands more freely. And crucially, the skull was 2.5 million years old. So there's a strong sense that it's in the southern African region that we have one of the strongest pieces of evidence for the early origins of us as a human species, of how we lifted ourselves up, started to use our hands, started to use fire, starting to use sticks, and started to develop the technologies which we are now using in the TVET campuses that we have just explored, not only in the Northwest and vuselela, but the TVET college campuses across South Africa. So now as we pull out, hopefully you've got first sight of what the vuselela TVET college campuses are like, with its academic side in the town of Potch with all its old Afrikaner educational institutions, the huge mining town of Klerksdorp, struggling with boom and bust and corruption and all sorts of money flowing in and out, and then the small town of Tong, struggling with its Botswana heritage, and at the same time as that also being the site of one of the world's most important discoveries of early human types of existence.